A very good morning to all my dear friends. I am Prashant Mavani. I hope you all are doing good. It's a very beautiful morning today. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for your positive greetings, and your messages are quite encouraging, and thank you very much. To be honest, I am really touched with this, dear friends. The quote of the day: challenges are what make life interesting, and overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. In return, I would say it may sound bit weird, bit different, but I would truly like to wish all of you to have a bit of challenging 2018, because if you don't face challenges, if we are not prepared to take challenges or face challenges, then we will miss many important opportunities. This is very important to understand, and I would like to say, for example, this is a line here. You are trying to draw a straight line. A small variation somewhere, a little bit miss of focus, and you will see that the ultimate line won't be straight. It will take you down. So now it's up to us. If we take challenges positively, then I believe that this line, rather than going down, it can go up. With this, dear friends, StudyIQ has recently launched a test series for SSC CGL plus CHSL. With this, dear friends, we have also launched the GPSC course. Philosophy's optional course is out, and there are many other courses that are out. You know that we provide things for state level exams and national level exams, which cover UPSC, SSC, bank exams, and much more. So check out StudyIQ.com if you want to know more about it. Just in case, if you have any question or queries, you can use the chat support that is available for you guys, and you can give us a call on this number as well. Now, dear friends, the first item that we have is pertaining to Thalaivaa, Rajinikanth, a superstar. I'm sure you have watched many of his films. I have personally, not the latest ones, but a bit older films. Of course, I have gone through them, and Rajinikanth, his stardom is definitely unmatchable, I think I have shared this thing with you yesterday, that he is, I was quite you can say I was awestruck when I came to know that he is famous in countries like Japan as well, It's not only Japan, but if you go to some European countries as well, then he is quite famous. So Rajinikanth is definitely, he has got the name Thalaivaa. I think Thalaivaa basically means leader or boss, something like that. Anyways, so it was back in 1995 when he spoke against Jayalalitha at that point of time. Now, let me tell you one interesting thing about the you can say state politics of Tamil Nadu. Jayalalitha, again, she was, I'm sure you know about these things, she was a film star, and this Ramachandran, MGR, the founder of AIADMK, had association with films as well. So, dear friends, Rajinikanth, now he has declared that he is going to join politics, and he has projected that the vacuum or the things or disruption that is going on for a very long period of time in the domestic, or you can say state, in the state of Tamil Nadu after the passing away of Jayalalitha. This has created, we have seen many ups and downs going on. The opposition party, the DMK, is not at its best, or it's not that powerful to take on AIADMK at present, because the main person, this happens with parties. With this, you can understand many other things as well that are hidden behind this situation of Tamil Nadu. Say, for example, DMK, now, Karunanidhi at present, he is not at his best in terms of health and other things. So many times one centric party, one person party, or a one man army show, you can say, or one woman army party, this sort of things do not work after the passing away of the leader. That's what happened with Jayalalitha, and that's what is happening at present with DMK. And at present, to be honest, BJP as well is more famous for Narendra Modi rather than other faces, and we have seen this thing in recent assembly election in Gujarat. Go back to Himachal Pradesh, you find that past chief minister, not the one who has lost, but the BJP man, he in fact lost his election. So this indicates that at present BJP is again a party of one-man show, and you never know, right? In future, when Modi will step out, then it may fall down as well. Anyways, enough said about politics. Now the thing is, he has decided that he is going to enter the politics. He has talked about a different sort of politics. He talked that his politics is going to be more spiritual in nature. We exactly don't know what he means when he talks about this spiritual thing, but of course he has clarified that he is going to be away from this caste and other sort of disruptive politics. Very good. We know that Rajinikanth is very famous for a very long period of time. He has got all the money, he has got all the fame, right? He's quite famous and things like that, so people know that he's not here to make money. Of course, when we talk about recognition, then he has got all the recognition that one can dream of. So now the best thing, charisma. He has got charisma as well on his under his belt, so no problem with Rajinikanth here. But the thing is that the main thing at present, Tamil Nadu requires a bit of change. For a very long period of time, if you go through the politics of Tamil Nadu, then you find that caste has played a very important role. The other thing is that freebies, right, are becoming a sort of habit of people over there, particularly before election, right? It has been a sort of custom. This is something that is been created by, many times it is said that freebies are not that political parties like, it is the people who like it, but these things should end. And it is important for Tamil Nadu because it is sharing international border with Sri Lanka, and the way China is entering this region here, it is not good for any state, particularly border states. If they are going through this political turmoil, then it creates many questions in terms of national security. So let's see whether he is able to deliver, or we have to again wait for his clear ideological position. With this difference, second item is about cryptocurrency. Now I'm sure you know Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is the most famous one, but apart from Bitcoin there are other cryptocurrencies as well. Now cryptocurrencies, right, first of all, why they are a bit famous at present. The thing is, what I heard, right, a couple of weeks ago, someone was trying to sell these bitcoins to me, and that person said that back in 2010 someone bought bitcoin of some 1,000 rupees, and now they are millionaire. Now the thing is, this is how this sort of things are sold in the market, right? What they try to do is that many a times the people who are associated with this thing, it is not necessary that they know everything about it, and this is a very sad scenario when we talk about share market as well. You might have seen many people who are dealing with, or who are trading, or are purchasing and selling this shares. Many of them, they do gamble as well. I think most of them, they do gamble because they rely on someone else to pass them a sort of tips. That's what they use the term, right? Tips. So if someone says that sell this one and buy this one, etc., then they will buy it and sell it. It is very strange that most of the time people don't trust anyone with their money, but when they are after making some easy money, they will take any tips, and we have seen many people getting poor because of a wrong decision. Anyways, since 2013, RBI has issued 3 warnings against bitcoins. It has not been approved by RBI at all. There are many rumors going on in the market that RBI has in fact approved this Bitcoin, which is not right. The other thing is that why cryptocurrencies are being, or at present why they are famous. First of all, you see the prices, right? It shot up over 1,000%. 1,000%. Suddenly it has gone up, so naturally it is going to attract attention of many people who are after easy money. If you go through some statements that are issued by some experts, like people associated with big giants, right, then they are saying that some of them, I must say, some of them are saying that it is a big bubble and it may burst anytime, and the time when it will burst, it will take away money of of millions of people around the world. Now the thing is, apart from going up, there was a sudden drop as well. So basically it is fluctuating wildly. Now cryptocurrencies, they are anonymous, right? They are non-fiat, they are non-reliable, and what they do is they provide a sort of secure environment to do transaction. And because there is secrecy associated with this bitcoins and this cryptocurrencies, right, many trade, or you can say many people around the world, they use this cryptocurrency to buy and sell goods. There are many reports that indicate that it might have been used by terrorist organizations and people associated with drugs and other things, right, to merchandise their products. And many experts in our country, they do agree on one thing, that 90% of currencies, right, 90% of this cryptocurrencies are big scams, right? They create a sort of hype and then they take away money from of investors. Now, one thing that India must be careful about is a differentiation between, or there is a very, or you can say huge difference between cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. Remember this thing, very important. Many a times you find this sort of things as MCQs as well, right? It looks a bit difficult for you to get this as your mains answer writing question, but when we talk about this MCQ, then of course you may find this as a statement question. So cryptocurrencies and blockchain, what is the basic difference, right? Cryptocurrencies, as I told you, they are secure and they have secrecy in associated or inherent in it, but it is non-fiat and it goes in fact against the government of India's drive against black money, right? So this is important. The second thing regarding blockchain basically is a digital ledger. It is basically a digital book, right, that will keep record of financial transactions, and it can be uploaded instantly across the world, and this thing makes this blockchain technology very important. It is secure, right? It is difficult or nearly impossible to crack this blockchain technology. It uses this and mathematical formulas and things like that to make it you can say secure enough from any sort of attacks. So basically when you have this sort of digital book for your financial transactions, right, and if this can be instantly updated across the world, then it aids ease of doing business, and it also has a potential to greatly streamline payment mechanisms and make things more transparent. So in this term, blockchain technology is a very important technology, and the way things are going on in our country, the way we are trying to increase the share of digital transaction in our economy, or you can say we are at present trying to make our economy less cash economy, and hopefully in near future or in long term we would be aiming for no cash, right, cashless economy. So in this terms, blockchain can be of you can say very helpful to our country. But cryptocurrency, yes, it is doubtful, and it is bit, you can say, we cannot thoroughly trust cryptocurrency at present. There is a panel that is studying this cryptocurrency, and there is an interministerial panel that is going to take call on this cryptocurrencies. With this, dear friends, this one is a very, very important article. It is about secularism, and since 1990s, right, the way things are going on has of course changed reality as well as our imagination when we talk about our country India, or particularly secularism. Now a statement that is issued by Mr. Hegde, who is a BJP member, and what he has said that secular people, he declared, do not have an identity of their parental blood. Basically what he is trying to say is, I beg your pardon, he is calling people who are secular bastards, right, which is not right at all. And he has also said that his party is going to make necessary changes in the constitution, right, and this is a very irresponsible statement coming from a member, right, and what happens, we know it very well. This is not the first time that BJP members have expressed or have shared this sort of views. We know back in time, Uma Bharti ji, right, she said something like this, very, you can say, outrageous sort of comments were being shared by her. And see, the thing is, it's not that all members of BJP are having or are sharing same sort of views, right? But we cannot ignore this thing as well, that there are many people in BJP who are anti-Muslim, who are having this sort of anti-Muslim or anti-Christian or anti-minority. Then we have this group called RSS, we have this Vishwa Hindu Parishad, and it's not only about Hindus. There are many other groups belonging to different communities, maybe Muslims, maybe Christians, right? There are some groups of Sikhs as well. Now what these groups, right, they don't represent the real scenario of our country. First thing to note. The second thing is that when they are, say, this, their main agenda is they use this identity, right? Here RSS or Mr. Hegde's comment is about Hindu state. Basically everyone should be Hindu in the country. The other communities, we don't know what their plan is, whether they will provide them a sort of different land, we don't know, right? But what this sort of agenda of Hindu state, this sort of things are literally, you can say, a very foolish thing, right? Because we have talked about this thing, I think yesterday and a couple of days ago as well, that India is all about, it is a sort of white canvas with different colors on it. India, I think, is a garden, right, which is having all different types of flowers with all different types of fragrance, right, and different color. So that's what India is all about. So this is of course not going to work. So sorry to Mr. Hegde and RSS. Now the other thing is, right, if we go through constitution and what they are arguing, Mr. Hegde and this groups, and this is not only about RSS, as you understand, any groups, right, if they belong to Hindu or Muslims or Christians or any other religion, it doesn't really matter as far as they are against secularism and things like that, then it is not going to work in our country. Now the thing is that what they are arguing, they are saying that secular, or the word secularism, right, is not there, was not there in our constitution, and they are arguing that Baba Saheb Ambedkar was against the inclusion of this word called secularism or secular in Constitution of India. Now the main point which they are missing here is that it was Brajveshwar Prasad from Bihar who argued that we should include these words called secular and socialist into our preamble. Now the Constituent Assembly at that point of time clearly rejected this thing, and it is not because they were against secularism or socialism, right? They rejected this thing, and the logical argument, right, I'm sure you will agree with this thing as well, that what Constituent Assembly said, they said that this country, right, the Republic of India, is going to stand or is going to grant equality before the law to all its citizens. Point number one. Point number two is that people's right to free speech will be recognized and they will be given this right, right? And the third one is freedom of religion and conscience, right? So basically when you are giving these three things, when your constitution is providing for these three things, then you don't have to mention that this country is secular. This itself means that our country is secular country. The second thing is that secularism, as would be clear on any morally reasonable analysis, is inbuilt in the foundations of constitutionalism, in the idea of a democracy properly understood. So this arguments of these people is quite rejected. They are trying to see only one side, but to understand secularism of our country, we have to understand what Constituent Assembly was trying to say. The other thing is, these points are important. That's why you can see that I have specifically highlighted them. Constitution doesn't acquire its secular character merely from the words in the preamble, but from a collective reading of many of its provisions, particularly the various fundamental rights that it guarantees. So this is the thing. And just in case, imagine that if you are trying to remove this word secularism, or if these people are trying to remove this thing, then of course we have judicial review as well, and whether you add it or you don't add this word, fundamental rights and other things that are guaranteed by our constitution makes our country a very secular country. With this, the nature of our secularism, right, at that point of time there were two different versions of secularism. One was that there should be a complete wall separating wall, or a wall that is separating state and religion. So basically what it means is that you have state here, you have religion here, you have a wall in between. So religion can do whatever it likes and state can do whatever it likes. When I say it likes, I mean to say, of course, everything should be under constitution. So basically both these branches cannot interfere with each other, but this is not that we have accepted. We have accepted this form, and this one is that state treat every religion with equal respect. So for state, no one religion is important. Every religion, all different religions are equal in eyes of the state, and if required, then necessary changes will be forced by the state if the religious practices are not in line with the constitution. Very important. This sort of questions you find in your mains examination, and I would reckon that I tried my level best to make or break down things for you, right? But even if you find it a bit difficult, then I would reckon that do listen to what we have discussed here again, and go through the lines that are being provided to you, the things that you can see on your screen. Very important one, right? So please keep this thing in mind. Now K.M. Munshi has wrote that, and as you can see, I am reading quotes here, right? And the reason why I'm reading is because, as I told you, it is very important. So K.M. Munshi wrote, he said that was inappropriate to Indian condition, and we had to evolve a characteristically Indian secularism. We cannot follow what USA did. In USA, you know that when they take when the president is taking oath or something, then he will keep a hand on a Bible. And now, nothing wrong against keeping your hand on Bible or taking pledge in the name of Bible, but in India, you can say the biggest, you can say in terms of our country, right? We don't support Bible, we don't support Bhagavad Gita, we don't support Quran, right? A book that is most important for a country of India is the Constitution of India. Keep this thing in mind. Very important, right? Constitution of India is the holiest book that India has as a country, right? I'm not talking about religion. Now here he also, this Raju Bhargava said that maintenance of principled distance between the state and religion, this is what secularism is all about. With this one, we enter into another article, very important again, based on education, and you will find question on education every year. Now they can ask you question about primary or secondary or higher education or even universities, and why our universities are not in the top ranks. One of the things that is holding us back is because we are, or our focus is not on academic excellence. This is the main, you can say, the core of discussion of this article, excellence, right? We are not seeking, or we have not created an environment of excellence in our country when we talk about this academic world. Now, excellence is an ethical issue. First of all, we have to understand this thing, and the other thing is that what we believe that many different institutions around the world, or many countries around the world, right, they are successful because they are able to identify and they are able to recruit people with caliber, right, and they provide these people with resources, and because of this thing they are able to produce this excellent result, or they are able to create excellence in academic world. But the main question that we should ask ourselves is that why or how do successful nations spot such people and resources? The answer is that there is a sincere and stated commitment to cultivating excellence as a goal in different universities or different colleges, particularly in the developed world. And that this is one of the main reasons why we see that research and other things are going on, or people tend to visit foreign countries for research and other purposes, and I don't blame them as well. Now anyways, if we go through this very famous Stanford University's advertisement, recruitment advertisement, what it says is that we seek exceptional individuals who can develop a world-class program of research and have a strong commitment to teaching at both the graduate and undergraduate levels. Now the thing is, dear friends, what they see here is, say for example, if Professor A has applied, and Professor A has applied in University 1 and University 2, if University 1 and both these universities, right, they consider A as a very good candidate, and if A joins Uni 2 rather than Uni 1, then this is considered by Uni 1 as a serious failure. They will talk about it, they will take it very seriously, that why we were not able to hunt best talent. Do you think so that this sort of serious deliberation do take place in our universities? Not at all. Hardly, right? There would be very few. The other thing is that here we find one thing called personality cult. Many people associated with academics, they do criticize politicians who are quite famous and things like that, but when it comes to them, then they keep this, all this fame and all these things, they are ready to take it. The other thing is you see a sort of rivalry as well, and here they have this writer has used very good words, that Indians instinctively behave like crabs, pulling others down, still has well-deserved traction in academia. We find this culture in academia. Do talk with professors and people who are in academic world, particularly in government universities. You will find this sort of culture, that they will try everything to make sure that you are at least not climbing up the ladder. So this is the thing, and until and unless we will get rid of this thing, until and unless we will create a culture, and this culture is created by the people who are well educated, right? So if educated minds are behaving like crabs, then we are not going to see excellence in our universities. This one is about to seize the Asian century. As you can see, we have many articles, many different articles. So very quickly, very easy to understand one. You know that anti-globalization wave is going on around the world, and that's what 2017 will be known for, the year of 2017. Now, globalization has helped many people to step out of poverty since 1980s. Two of the biggest countries in the world in terms of population, China and India, right? We made rapid strides in terms of economic growth. Of course, China has performed well in terms of India. India was bit not that open. Now the thing is that China is open, and we see a sort of both India and China, we have our own problems. The problem of China is that it is ready to export things to different countries, but when it comes to imports, then it is a bit skeptical. It will try to protect its market. Now with India, our vision is confined within domestic markets, right? We consider that we have demand and population and things like that, but the global market is huge, isn't it? So we have to step and exploit and grab all the opportunities that are out there in the global market. So these are the things, and both these countries have to work on the limitations that they have. Now, there are many countries that are arguing against job losses because of immigrants and because of people, right? Because of this globalization and things like that, particularly this USA and UK and other developed countries. But what about the cheaper prices of goods and services that took place because of globalization? Many countries are blaming immigrants, right? But who is running academic world in UK and USA? And you know it very well that it is immigrants who are at a very top position in Silicon Valley. I'm not just talking about Indians, right? You have Chinese and other people as well. It would be very wrong to say that it is only Indians who are driving this big. Of course, Indians do play a very important role when we talk about academic world as well as Silicon Valley, but there are other people from different parts of the world as well, and that's what makes this organizations, one of the main reason is that they have global talent. Now the thing is, crony capitalism is a big problem for India and China, and this could be one of the reasons why both countries, the leaders Modi and Xi Jinping, are trying to fight crony capitalism, because you know that when this sort of things are going on in your economy, then basically you are creating barrier for entry. That means new businesses cannot enter when say for example real estate is been working on crony capitalism and things like that. So both these countries should work with each other. We should get rid of this rivalry and defensiveness and work with each other and use these different groups for enhancing globalization. And this one is about triple talaq. We know that Supreme Court in August 2017 in its judgment has you can say struck down triple talaq, but when the government at present the table today, I think it is today that in Rajya Sabha this triple talaq bill will be tabled. So illegal, if you say that it is a divorce, when you say illegal divorce, first of all when Supreme Court has said that this is not a divorce or this is not how you give divorce, so you cannot term it illegal divorce, you cannot criminalize it. And it talks about allowances and custody of minor, but this sort of things do take place in a divorce and not in a marriage. So triple talaq is not something with which you can break marriage. So government should think about it. With this, dear friends, USA has said, Donald Trump in his tweet has said that for a very long period of time Pakistan is making fool out of us. So now no more help is going to be given to Pakistan, and it has also said that it has given billions and billions of dollars to Pakistan, and Pakistan has said that we can give you account of all the money that you have given to us. So good news for India. Of course, India would be happy about it. Very sad that youngsters are joining this sort of radical groups. They are being brainwashed by this radical groups, right? And here is a news regarding this suicide attacker who we know that CRPF was attacked. We talked about this thing yesterday. So the person, right, 16-year-old boy, his video is released, and it is very sad. With this China hand, right, Gokhale is going to be, Vijay Gokhale is going to be our new foreign secretary. S. Jaishankar his term is going to end on January 28th. He has been a very wonderful, I have followed him since his you can say since he became foreign secretary, and overall we can say that he has played a very important role. And Mr. Gokhale, he is expert. He in fact handled this Doklam crisis, and here you can relate one thing, that if you are ready to take challenges, see here he took challenge of sorting out Doklam, and here he is becoming a sort of foreign secretary. So many important lesson for our life as well. 457 Indians in Pakistan jails, and Sushma Swaraj has said that no cricket with Pakistan. These are news items, so I'm quickly taking you through it, right? Of course, we know that we are not going to play cricket until and unless terrorism and things like that are not sorted out by Pakistan. Here government has said that 3,143 court holes coming up. It has set aside money for infrastructure development of judiciary. We know that vacancies are quite high and this should be sorted out. With this we have to also include technology in our judiciary. Real Estate Act not showing its result yet. In 2016 we came out with Real Estate Regulation and Development Act 2016. So far only 20,000 housing projects have registered under this RE Act, and RERA and other things are still not implemented. Remember this, at the end of the day, real estate falls within the state government. So state governments, 6 state governments out of 29 have implemented this RERA. Rest of them have not implemented it yet. So this is one of the reason. Now Rouhani place, the protests are going on in Iran, and it is because of restriction on mobile internet and social media sites, and people are agitating for a very long period of time. The government is saying that you are allowed to express your criticism, but this should be in peaceful way and things like that. It is also believed that sanctions and not able to create that many jobs is background, or is at its core of this protest. 1,400 cars destroyed in UK's parking garage fire. Now you'd be thinking this is not an important news. Of course not in terms of your examination, but a very good example when we compare this thing, that a big parking lot, right, 1,400 cars. So at least you can say that there will be 1,400 people whose cars will be there in this parking lot, but so far no one has died. This indicates that if you have good infrastructure, good signage and exit doors, then you can save lives. With this, steel cement lead core sector growth to 13-month high, 6.8 growth in November 2017, which is not bad at all. It is believed that it is this government pushing for infrastructure, affordable housing, that has helped pick up this steel and cement sector. In near future we are also hoping private investment going up, and this will push, or this will turn on the twin engine of development. And this one is about commissioning of the second largest rooftop solar power plant in our country. New rule book. It is about state-run banks. We know that 2.1 lakh crore rupees is going to be injected as a recapitalization for sorting out or helping or hand-holding these banks and helping them with this NPAs. But with this, government has already said that it is not just money. With money there are going to be some rules that will be applicable. With this, dear friends, these are your answers, Stromboli, and the right answer is 3124. With this, today's question: combustion of a candle is physical change, reduction, reaction, endothermic reaction or exothermic reaction. Rural bank that has got its name after a river is Pratna Bank, Varda Gramin Bank, Thar Anchalik Gramin Bank, and none of the above. And which of the following is the exclusive jurisdiction of the state government? Customs duty, income tax, corporation tax or sales tax? With this, dear friends, I end this discussion. I'll see you all soon. Jai Hind.